Well, I think that I'm grateful again for the contribution which I have heard. What I have said is very limited. It was only glimpses. But I think a great deal must be done for, on both sides, men and women, to recreate by a long life struggle from generation to generation the situation, the paradisiac situation between Adam and Eve. It's a whole struggle, a working together that is necessary. And we have got from generation to generation to do this. And in that sense, I think a thing which we so often forget is the meaning or the importance of heredity. We somehow feel that once we are born, we are ourselves. Well, of course, we have common features with our parents and grandparents, but we do not see the line that unites us to our first parents, Adam and Eve, and beyond and between the two to generation after generation. And yet, when you read that part of the Gospel, which is the genealogy of Christ, isn't it striking to see that the Mother of God comes as the last term of a whole line of people who had in common with them really only one thing: a total, passionate faith in God, which did not prevent them very often from being sinners. But in spite of it, their love of God and their faith in Him was there. And they passed it on from generation to one another. And in the end, all the beauty, all the holiness of centuries or thousands of generations was gathered in one person, which is Mary, the Mother of God. And I was very impressed by this element of heredity, the role and the place of heredity, and the way in which we are linked with people of previous generation. A number of years ago, when a very thoughtful parishioner of ours, an English woman, came to me and said, "I can't understand what is happening to me. I am in the grip of a problem which I have never had. I have never been in a situation that gave rise to this problem. It is in me as an alien body, as it were. How can that be? What can I do? I cannot repent. I cannot do anything about it." And then I said something, unthinkingly almost. You know, I very often say that my heavenly protector is Balaam's ass, who spoke to the prophet when the prophet could not see himself, the angel standing before him. And I acted like the ass itself. I said to her, "Oh, but don't you think that there is in the past generations a man or a woman who had this problem that remained unresolved for him or her and is unresolved still in eternity? And now God has entrusted this problem for you, to resolve it in you, for you and for the person who had it. And this person had the folly of believing me and trusting me, and fought against the problem. And one day she came and said, it's over. The problem is resolved within me, and I feel that the person who had it, whom I don't know who it was, is at peace now. I think we must think in those terms also about our own lives. The problems which are within us, which may not be of our own making, which may be inherited. But usually when we have problems inherited, we reject them, and if we remember where they come from, we reject also the person who handed them over to us. On the contrary, let us embrace them. Let us see how wonderful someone in previous generations had this problem, was not able to resolve it within his or her life. It was passed on to grandchildren and children, and he's now reached me, and perhaps can resolve it and deliver for a whole line of generations from an insuperable problem.